So, tatapusin natin ang lecture 6 to 7. Wala ba sa bahay? So, madali lang kasi itong lecture 6 kasi about fire safety lang. So, ito yung ang iba dito is parang common knowledge na lang na pag-aralan dati. And yung lecture 7 naman about Oslo is parang 3 pages lang. So, tatapusin na natin siya para next week is your final exam. And this week until next week is pwede na kayo magpa-check ng inyong safety audit. If ever na may papadagdag ako, ipapa-revise, ipapa-edit. So, pwede. So, you can message me, email or messenger. So, ito-check ko doon. Send nyo lang ang file. Since face-to-face tayo, online tayo this week. So, ganun na lang. So, lecture 6 about fire safety. So, fire protection, prevention, and control in industry are sometimes thought of activities separate from each other and from accident prevention. There may be some justification for this if we think of a fire in terms only of damage to property. So, ibig sabihin, fire protection, prevention, and control are integral parts of any industrial safety program. So, ito din is fire protection is uh, damage ng property and also mga potential injury or for personal injury or deaths that makes fire safety a top priority in the workplace. Kasi kung hindi naman natin agad maaapula yung apoy is mas maraming madadamay. So understanding the chemistry of fire and implementing layered prevention and response measure drastically reduces both the human and the material losses. So the chemistry and behavior of fire. So what is fire? Ano nga ba ang fire? Fire is a chemical reaction between three elements or between a flammable or combustible material and oxygen. Fire is a rapid oxidation reaction that releases light and heat. So the three elements must coexist for combustion to occur. So etong tatlong elements is kailangan sa isang fire triangle para magkaroon tayo ng fire. So kailangan natin ng fuel, kailangan natin ng oxygen, and kailangan natin ng heat. Fuel is any burnable material or any na nasusunog. So oxygen, 21% equivalent or approximately 21% supplied air, and heat raises the fuel to its ignition temperature. So these three, the fuel, oxygen, and heat, form the fire triangle. So if we remove any one of this element, and the fire cannot start or it will be extinguished. So, dito tayo sa fuel. So, fuel is something that will burn. It is the most common fuel, or most common fuel are the organic compounds of carbon and hydrogen. But even certain metals, so pwede din ang metals that can act as fuel if they are oxidized rapidly in a pure oxygen. So when the materials already fully oxidized, so it cannot serve as the fuel. So kapag ang isang material or isang metal is na-oxidize niya na lahat, yung isang metal, so hindi na siya pwedeng maging Hindi na siya pwedeng mag-act as a fuel. So flammable and combustible material, these are classified by their flash point. So the lowest temperature at which they give off enough vapor to ignite the air. So yung pinakamababang temperature ang nagbibigay ng tamang or saktong vapor para magkaroon ng ignition in the air. So ang flammable, ang flash point niya is mas mababa sa 100 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degree Celsius. Kapag combustible naman, syempre, as contrast is mas mataas sa 100 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degree Fahrenheit, uh, degree Celsius. So we have common flash points here. The flammable substances like the gasoline, ether, acetone, and alcohol has a flash point in degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius. And we have the combustible substances. So a substance flash point can be influenced by the environmental or process condition. So yung flash point ng isang substance is nakadepende pa din or depende pa din sa kung anong environment ang meron tayo. So oxygen is the second element of fire, and fire normally draw its oxygen from air, which is mixture of 21% oxygen and 78% nitrogen. So kailangan natin tong oxygen para sa isang fire triangle. So ang oxygen content po of an air drops is below 16%. And kapag ganun na po is magkakaroon na tayo ng lack of oxygen. So hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng fire. In a pure oxygen enriched atmosphere, many or otherwise, the non-combustible materials na nag-ignite and nag-burn are more intense, mas intense yung kanilang uh, pag-ignite, pagliyab. And next is heat. So heat needed, we need fuel to raise the heat or its flash point. So the lowest temperature at which it gives of sufficient vapor to ignite, and once yung vapor natin is nagkaroon ng ignition, so kailangan niyang i-sustain yung combustion or yung fire. So yung fuel ang magko-continue mag-burn until it reaches the temperature to fall below the ignition temperature. So ma-ceasefire na yung ignition. And then yung sources of heat includes yung mga sparks, hot surfaces, also friction, electric arcs, chemical reaction, and sunlights. So we have different sources of heat. We have seven. So from electricity to chemical action. Electricity, ito yung pinaka-common na nagli-lead ng fire sa isang industry because of the faulty wiring, overheated motors, and also poor maintenance of their electric uh, hazard or workplace or area. Smoking also a common cause of fire. So it is a potential cause of fire almost everywhere. This is from the sparks from cigarettes in a prohibited areas or even sa mga places na, for example, there are uh, dried leaves, for example, and you throw a cigarette na meron pang hindi pa siya patay yung kanyang ignition. So possible there is or there magkaroon tayo ng ignition kasi pag dried leaves mas madali ang magkaroon ng fire. So, present si oxygen, present si fire, present si heat. So, pero hindi naman siya totally magkakaroon ng as in malaking fire since wala tayong fuel. Parang magkakaroon lang siya ng ah, minimal ignition because dried yung leaves natin. Then we have the friction. Ito yung mga hot bearings natin, misaligned power drives, and choking of conveyors ang causes ng ating friction. Then cutting and welding, so sparks in hot metal from oxy-fuel or arc process. And then spontaneous ignition, self-heating of oily rags, dust in, ducts or insulation. And static electricity is the discharge on flammable vapors or dust. Chemical action is the heat from exothermic reactions or unstable compounds. Then we have methods in extinguishment of fire, methods of extinguishments. So first, remove the fuel or removing fuel. So we need to shut off the gas or the liquid feed bulbs, and we need to transfer flammables to a safe or isolated container. And then, so dito sa ating removing fuel, so first is ito ay kailangan nating patayin lahat ng nagko-cause ng 7:45. Wait lang po. So again, sa removing fuel, we need to shut off yung sources of fire, and also uh, yung letter B natin is we need to transfer all the flammables, liquid man yan, solid or any flammables, into a safe place or isolated containers. Then excluding or limiting the oxygen. So here, smoother flames with fire, kailangan natin ng mga fire blankets or dry sand para ma-remove natin or malimit natin ang fire. Kasi if we have fire blankets, pwede na natin siyang gamitin as itatakip natin dun sa may fire. Or yung sun, lalagyan natin ng sun yung fire. So, malilimit natin ang oxygen na napasok sa, na nag-provide dun sa fire para mag-ignite. And then we have the cooling. So spray water or mist to absorb heat and lower surface temperature. And we need to prevent their ignition by keeping the fuels below their ignition point. So kailangan natin mag-spray ng water and maintain natin ang lower temperature, and para ma-prevent natin ang mag-ignite ulit siya, is kailangan ma-maintain natin or ma-maintain natin at low point ang fuel or at yung heat. And last is by interrupting the chain reaction. So apply any dry chemical or halon agents that can disrupt the combustion chemistry of fire. So next is we have classes of fires. We have four: the class A, class B, class C, and class D fires. So the classification of this fire is based on the uh, material. So the class A fires is the ordinary combustible, which includes the wood, the paper or cloth that can be extinguished with water or foam. And kapag class B fire naman, ito yung mga flammable liquids and gases. So mga gasolines and solvents that can be extinguished by foam, carbon dioxide, or any dry chemicals. And then we have the class C fires. So these fires are the mga energized electric equipment. So ito na yung mga equipment na gamit sa electricity, mga motors, panels. So para ma-de-energize siya, kailangan i-treat ang para siyang i-treat as class A or class B fire. So it can be distinguished by water or foam. And class D fire is the combustible metals such as the magnesium and titanium. So kapag ito na yung fire natin, kailangan na natin gumamit ng special dry powder or agents. We do not use water in class D fires. So in the absence of modern fire extinguishers, the following materials can be used to stop fire in its initial. So ito na yung ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na some extinguishment of classes of fire. So for A fire, water is the best extinguishment. So kapag B naman, mga metal cover, wet sack towel, sand, uh, mga dry chemicals, foams. Class C is the main switch, is the first consideration. And pwede tayong gumamit dito ng water kasi water is a good conductor of electricity and it can kill the firefighter instantaneously. Principles of fire prevention and control. So in here, um, protection from and prevention and control are extremely technical and complex, and still the subject can be condensed or summarized into five objectives statements. We have prevent the outbreak of fire, provide for early detection of fire, prevent the spread of fire, and provide prompt extinguishment of fire. So sa prevent the outbreak of fire, so we need to prevent the ignition sources. If it is electrical system, we need to uh, shut off the switch. So maintain the electrical system off. We need to enforce no smoking rules in high risk area. We need to control hot work through permits and isolations. And also, we need to limit the availability of fuel. So we need to store the flammables in approved cabinets or in a storage, isolated storage na safe siya. And practice the housekeeping para ma-remove ang dust and waste every day. And the substitute less hazardous material were feasible, and we need to install proper cooling and ventilation sa ating prevent the outbreak of fire para ma-monitor din natin ang mga temperatures and mga heat shields or barriers in the hot equipments. So kapag hindi natin na-check ang mga working place or working area is if there is a hazard there, so pwede siyang mag-cause ng fire mostly kapag electricity na siya. So these are the sources of fire in an industry or in a plant. So mostly ang nagko-cause is the electrical with 22%. And then we need to provide for early detection. So early detection, prompt detection and warning give the personal time to evacuate and firefighting teams time to respond. So kapag may nakakita na sa isang working place ng pwede na siyang mag-start ng fire. So if alam mong mag-start na siya ng fire at nakita mo, you need to hit the fire alarm and call for the safety for the response team. And kapag hindi siya naagapan agad and nag-cause talaga ng super fire ng malaking fire is at the beginning pa lang is mag-call ka na ng firefighter ng ano bang bumbero, tama, firefighter. So prevent the spread of fire. Sobrang haba kasi nito. So ang fire natin is pwede siyang mag-travels or pwede siyang mag-cause by conduction, convection, and radiation. So explain here naman ang convection natin, ang radiation. Nasa lang, hindi ko makita yung isa. So ito lang naman is kailangan natin ah para ma-slow natin yung prevention ng fire, kailangan natin gumamit ng mga fire-rated walls or doors uh, para ma-compartmentalize natin yung risk of having a fire. Then fire dampers in ductwork and close louvers on shafts and parapets and fire stops to seal the gaps in construction. So these are the following covers only some of the bare essentials. So we need to have firewalls, fire doors, shutters or louvers. So have fire stops, baffles, fire dampers, fire windows, parapets, dikes, and enclosure of vertical openings. And then extinguishment or extinguishing methods. Fire can be extinguished by eliminating the fuel, the oxygen, or the heat. So by removing the fuel, shutting off the gas lines or the sources of fire, excluding the oxygen through inert gases or some smothering with the blankets, cooling below ignition temperature. We need to apply water para ma-interrupt din yung mga chemical chain natin of fire is mga dry chemicals or halons. And for the firefighting facilities, kailangan meron tayong built-in. So permanent or built-in extinguishers such as the automatic sprinklers, size for water demand. So and also mga standpipes and hose, connection matching the local fire department couplings, the fixed foam or clean agent system in hazard area. So kailangan sa mga hazard area is may ready tayo na foam kasi most probably is ang mag-cause ng hazard dun is hindi na siya kaya ng water para ma-prevent or para mapatay yung apoy. And we have portable fire extinguishers. Portable fire extinguisher have been called the first aid fire extinguisher. So they contain limited supply of an extinguishing medium. So, sa ating portable fire extinguisher, meron tayong iba't ibang classes. So, from class A is the water. Class B natin, class A and, I mean, for the class A fire is water. For class A and B, we have foam. For class B and C, we have the carbon dioxide. Um, Etong ating dry chemical is multipurpose. So, pwede siyang class A, B, C fire. And the halogenated or hydrocarbon is the specialized powders from that can be used to extinguish the class D fires or the metal ang source ng fire nila. Oh, okay. Sige. Alam ko na gagawin ko. So, paano mo gumamit ng fire extinguisher? So, we need to follow the pass rule. Pull, pull the nozzle, pull the lock, aim dun sa, pag na-pull natin yung lock, naalis natin, so, i-aim natin or ita-target natin siya dun sa pinaka-base ng fire. And then, S is the squeeze of the nozzle. So, pipindutin natin, not pipindutin, ipipress natin yung pinaka-nozzle. And sweep. Alam niyo naman paano sweep? Side by side. So, that is the pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Provide the immediate evacuation of personnel. So, we have here the evacuation and drills. So, dito, we need to have a safe, orderly evacuation para ma-prevent natin ang mga casualties. So, we need to have a clearly marked and unobstructed exit. So, kailangan natin yung mga exits natin is clear siya. Wala siyang any obstructions. Para at least, and we need at least to escape our routes per area. And then, We have also the fire drills, at least actually quarterly yung ginagawa ngayon ng fire drills nationwide. Evacuation maps posted in near the workstation or workplaces, working area, and we need to have a training on stay in place versus the full evacuation protocols for specialized hazard. So yung mga regular drills natin can reinforce escape routes, we improve the response times, and build the confidence in emergency procedure. Anong nag-OJT kami, nagkaroon kami ng contest. OJT versus the employees. Ano, sa pag yung tamang pagpatay ng apoy gamit yung mismong hose na nakakabit sa dingding. 'Di ba may mga ano tayo, kung nakikita niyo yung may mga hose na nakakabit sa dingding, 'di ba? So, nahanap ko yung picture na yun, kami yung nanalo dun, OJT. Pero tinuruan nila kami bago magkaroon ng gano'n. In-explain muna nila kung paano gagawin, kung paano yung tamang role ng host para dire-diretso yung kanyang 'pag hinihila hindi magbubuhol. So yun, masaya siyang gawin. Yun, diretso ko na ng lecture 7. So for the lecture 7, it is about the occupational safety and health legislation. So these are the uh, constitutional and legal foundation. So it is under the Article 12 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Article 12, social justice and human rights. So the state shall provide the humane working condition to Filipino workers. So the 1987 Philippine Constitution mandates the state to provide humane working condition, framing the OSH or the occupational safety health as a basic social right based on the Article 12. So for the LCP or the labor code provisions on the occupational safety and health, we have for the Article 162 that is required that the Secretary of the DOLE or the Department of Labor and Employment must formulate and promulgate the OSH standards or the Occupational Safety and Health Standards. So sila yung maggagawa ng OSH standards and sila din yung magpapatibay and implement. Article 163 is the continuous uh, occupational safety health training programs to build the workforce competence. So again, Article 162 is about the formulation and promulgation of the OSH standard by the Secretary of the DOLE. Article 163 is the continuous OSH trainings. Article 165 naman is about the DOLE as designation or the DOLE designate the sole administrator and enforcer of OSH rules. And then Article 128 is it grants the DOLE inspectors visitorial powers, access to premises, records, worker interview, and authority to order stoppage for imminent dangers. And then we have the EO executive optical charot. Executive order, we have the EO 307. Para saan ba tong EO na to? EO para sa mata. EO para sa OSHC. So, or the Occupational Safety and Health Center as the national HUB, national hub for the OSH training, research, information, dissemination, and technical support. We have the OSHS, the Occupational Safety and Health Standards. So, the coverage and scope of this is we need to apply all the workplaces except the active mines and sea or air transport, the garage, shipyards, port hangars are also included, mga dry docks natin, and the duties of the employers and the workers is that employers must provide safe, healthful conditions, conduct safety training, and use only approved safety equipment. So, ang gagamitin lang natin kapag nagwo-work is yung approved safety equipment. Workers must follow the safe practices and report the hazards. In hazardous workplaces, we need to define the exposure to dangerous agents such as biological, chemical, and physical hazard or exposure or by a sector through construction, logging, firefighting, mining, ano ba? Explosives. So for the imminent danger, condition that could cause death or serious harm before formal abatement or DOLE can order immediate work stoppage. Then we have health and safety committee. So sila yung mga stakeholder bodies natin, multi-stakeholder bodies, like management, the safety officer of the company, the supervisor of the company, health staff, mga working reps. So sila yung nagpaplano, nagde-develop, and nagmo-monitor ng OSH programs and training, and also meeting at least monthly. Then accident illness reporting. So employers must submit monthly OSH reports to DOLE every 20th of the month. And the WEM, the environmental control or the work environment measurement, evaluates the chemical, physical, and biological hazard against a permissible exposure limits. So also we need to have a protective equipment, personal protective equipment, which employees provide the approved PPE at no cost. So workers are responsible for its proper use and care. Types of OSH inspection. So we have technical and general. Kapag sinabi nating general, workplace workthroughs for housekeeping, storage, ventilation, protection, machine guarding. So kapag technical naman, is about the specialized checks on boilers, pressure vessels, mga elevators, electrical installation, so hoisting equipment. So yun ang mga technical natin. Then we have mga penalties Like the penal provision, ito ay based dun sa ating LCP. Ano nga LCP? Labor Code Provision. So, kapag nag-violate, kapag nag-violate ka dun sa mga articles based on the or the LC provision, so you have to fine or magbabayad ka ng 1,000 starting at 1,000 up to 10,000 pesos. Also, pwede ding magkaroon ng imprisonment not less than 3 months. Both the fine and imprisonment pwede din. And aliens can be or the foreign offenders may face deportation. Then we have other government responses. So we have a zero program or zero accident program or the ZAP. So ang target nito ay ang workplaces is magkaroon ng zero lost time incidents. Ang Employees Compensation Program or ECP is provide the benefits for work-related injuries and illnesses, work improvement in small enterprises or device. Ito naman is yung mga OSH capacities, capacity building for small businesses. We also have informal sector OSH initiative, so extends training and support beyond the formal workplaces. And then sa mga schools, OSH in schools. So, in-integrate dyan ang safety education sa curriculum. Katulad nitong ating Bosh subject. And child labor naman is about the child labor protection ensures the compliance with the age-appropriate work standards. So, hindi pinapayagan yung mga illegal age na mag-work. Then, quick reaction team like work alert, medical surveillance on SJS. So, quick reaction teams, rapid dole response unit for emergent or for the emergency as the OSH issues like work alert and the SJS. So, yun. That concludes our lessons for the basic occupational safety and health subject this summer. Uh-huh. And and then ano ba ba sabihin ko? Your final exam will be on July 21. So you have 1 week to prepare to study. Uh, Nagsabi na ako kay Marfy. Na-announce na ba, Marfy?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Sige, ulitin ko lang ulit. So we have 30 points multiple choices, 20 points enumeration, so total of 50 points, and the other 50 points is based on your safety audit paper. Mismong safety audit paper. So kasama na dun yung revision, paano kayo nag-audit, yung risk assessment. So that will be 50 points. So 50 plus 50, 100 points ang ating final exam. Any questions? Yes.
Sir, balisan po ang start ng ASCO po ng exam. Sa
Ang
written po.
ang multiple choices ay lecture 1 to 5. Ang enumeration is 5-7. 5-7. 6-7. Tama ba? Wait lang. Check ko lang ha. Actually, cover to cover pala ang exam. Wait lang, wait. Yan ha, may clue na ha. Pag talaga hindi pa nakasagot. Oo. Wait, parang sobra yung aking... Oo. Ang lecture 1 to 5 is multiple. Lecture 6 to 7 is um enumeration. Questions? Wala nang questions? Yung magpapacheck, email me or message me on Messenger. Kapag nag-email kayo is mag-message kayo sa GC para ma-check ko. So, yun lang. Attendance, wait. Attendance, 05. Albanyo,
Present po, sir.
Ardid,
Present po, sir.
Arevalo,
Present po.
Betis, Betis, Cardenas,
Present po, sir.
Karingal,
Present po, sir.
Casalia,
Present po, sir.
Cause,
Present po.
Di Juan,
Present po.
Di Matatak. Hoy, may tanong pala ako. Itong, dito nga ba yun? Hindi pala. Sa engineering management pala, sorry. Um, 12.
Present po.
Wait lang, may tatanong lang ako sa inyo. Nasaan na yun? Kilala nyo ba si ano? Okay. Gets ko na pala. Sabi ko hindi siya nagsasubmit ng ano sa engineering management. Okay lang. Sige. Move on. Next, Doktora.
Present po.
Ikinan,
Present po.
Estremadura,
Present po.
Fahotagana,
Present po.
Fernandez,
Present po.
Fronda,
Present po.
Ginhawa,
Present po.
Hernandez, Joan,
Present po, sir.
Hernandez Vincent,
Present po.
Holgado,
Present po.
Haboneta, Labador, Leones,
Present po.
Lina,
Present po.
Leave, Makalalad,
Present po.
Maguan,
Present po.
Maligaya,
Present po.
Manimtim,
Present po.
Marazigan,
Present po.
Matalog, Mendoza, Kimberly, Mendoza Rising,
Present po.
Mojica,
Present po.
Montalbo,
Present po.
okay, Morales,
Present po.
Orhino, Ponce, Rodriguez,
Present po.
Rosales,
Present po.
sinong hindi natawag? So, yung iba is wala sa meet. So, okay. Thank you for... Yes, Glenn.
Present po, sir. Mahina lang pong internet po.
Okay. So, again, pwede na magpa-check. And good luck sa finals. Mag-aral. And yun. Thank you for attending and listening uh, to my discussion. So, thank you and goodbye. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.